A new ring. How did it come to you? Why did it choose you?
Heroes of Middle-earth is the free-to-play, turn-based strategy RPG that brings together an endless assortment of classic characters from the Tolkien universe in a strategic, social, competitive mobile experience. The new ring, very interesting aspect of our game. And what the ring does is it grants the player the ability to bring the best characters, the characters that he feels best suit that battle that's going to happen in that location, and somewhat, push the bounds of what is the narrative canon and allow for the players to sort of experience things in a new and fresh way. But within the larger story that we're presenting and the larger sort of conceit within the game, it will make much more sense once players dive into it. This ring will of course, be a big part of that. There's such a depth of storytelling to use in such a way that combines both narrative and gameplay mechanics. So players are constantly challenged in new and surprising ways. That's a big part of why we chose to expand the narrative in our game, both to serve the familiar stories, but also intertwine them with gameplay design in a way that'll keep the game fun and imaginative over time. You've seen Frodo, you've seen Sam, you've seen Legolas. That's only a really small sampling of course, some of the most iconic characters. We have characters that range from, the entire timeline from all of those stories. And we've also expanded out races and factions within that, so players can really experience them in a way that they probably haven't to date. Our combat is turn-based strategy. Players can hone their skills across the game using the story mode and the PvP mode. They can design teams around unique combat skills and abilities to win battles. And they can also play to character relationships and personalities to unlock team-ups and synergy bonuses, reinforcing friendships, families, and rivalries. I would describe our art style as a form of stylized realism. But what that means for us is that we have characters and environments that are simplified. They're not caricatured. They're grounded, but they're quite fantastic. If you go back even further, our art style is actually quite close to the original IP. Tolkien's own original watercolor illustrations of Middle-earth are very bright. They're very colorful. They're heavily stylized. And we take that as a point of inspiration. It's interesting, developing the art style with some characters who have very little written about them. How does one do that? We take a race, we take a faction like Haradrim, who have some things written about them. You can come up with details, but how do we realize that into something that we feel is unique and appealing at the same time? We do that a lot by simply making sure that the style is something clear and legible. It's going to read really well on a mobile device. We are not ready quite yet to share our worldwide launch timeline just yet, but players should stay tuned as we continue our soft launch rollout in select countries around the world.